All right, everybody, back with a brand new Cabral concept. This is our Friday review. We're going to be going through 2 recommendations and resources for you here today. One, how to read specific gummy-based labels. So if you're using gummies for any of your favorite vitamins or nutritional supplements for you or your kids, we'll tell you what to watch out for. This is a prequel to a bigger episode as well on food dyes, artificial colors, and the renaming of those colors. We'll be going through a brand new at-home lab test to go over how to combine one simple lab, taking a hair sample and urine sample that will give you all of your vitamin levels, all your mineral levels, your toxicities as well, not just your deficiencies, such as gut health and heavy metals. So can't wait to share that with you in depth, plus 2 research studies, one on a simple herb found in nature that you probably have access to, no doubt about it, that can help with autoimmune issues. And then 1 additional research study that I thought would be interesting to bring you here today. And for anybody who's trying to pack, sandwiches or snacks or quick to go things on the road, and you say, are there any healthy deli meats? I'll take you through a few that would be healthier options based on a quick get up and go, out the door based snack or sandwich for a kid's lunch. All right, let's get into it right now. As I always do, I love to be able to give you a little bit of updates from the week. So I want to share that with you. First and foremost is this, as someone that's been promoting the benefits of cannabidiol, which is CBD, since about 2017 or so. So it's going back now 6-7 years. I'm happy to say that the US just passed a new law that opens up CBD in every single US state. So congratulations to the US finally moving forward, where many parts of the world, well, some can and some can't, but this was a big thing. Some states were literally still not allowing CBD to be brought into their state, and it had nothing to do with the efficacy or safety of CBD, since it's completely safe. You can't overdose on CBD, on cannabinoids. Just not possible. Why were they doing this? Money, politics. That's what it's all about. It's always what it's about. They were trying to be able to sell licenses to cannabis-based shops where you could then purchase CBD. But CBD can really be purchased anywhere online. I'm happy to say now that we have been giving people and getting out to people full spectrum cannabidiol, which is CBD, not the tetrahydrocannabinoids, which is the THC, which is more the psychoactive, a product that can be used to help with balancing healthy levels of inflammation and all sorts of really issues with anxiety and sleep and mood and so much more. Is this something that you need to use every day? Maybe for the first couple of weeks or months, and then beginning to wean, and then just use it as needed. So I remember when I first started using CBD back in like 2017, I used it every day as a trial for about 2 to 3 months. And then after that, just as needed. And so I always have CBD oil, CBD gummies, and CBD soft gels. If I'm ever feeling like just super stressed, I want to be able to just turn it all off, I'll use those, and they work fantastic. Adults, typically a dosage of 25 to 50 milligrams. You can go higher as needed. For children, 5 to 10 milligrams. Again, you can go higher as needed. It's used for pets. Anyway, it's worth looking into. Just wanted to bring you that news. It is big news. It really is. I mean, this is a natural herb. We should be able to have access to it as humans, right? Like people shouldn't be able to make laws that we can't get access to a natural herb should we choose to. It's not right for every adult. That's okay. But let adults make their decisions. All right. So that is that. And now you know my feelings as well on U.S. laws with these cannabinoids. Quick podcast recap before we get into our first review of the week. The first one is this 30/20 Monday show. Hopefully you didn't miss it. Do you really know what your top priorities are? So I love, I ask it in that way, but usually a gentler way during my one-on-one consultations. I love to be able to ask people that questions, because oftentimes what they say, they know it should be their top priority, right? But then we look at what does that typical day look like when we go through their calendar, you're right? If we look at that calendar, you know what a person's priorities are. If you show me your calendar, you don't say a word, I can tell you by seeing what is scheduled what your top priorities are. So anyway, that's a show that I think will really get you thinking, and then obviously reprioritizing to make the main thing more of the main thing. All right, Tuesday's show was, is your city on this list of toxic tap water? I can't recommend enough listening to this show, seeing if your city is on this list, and even still, Even if it's not, I would at least look into the best water filters for you and your family, because water is, I put it highest on the list. That clean air, right? Clean air, then clean water, then clean food. Air we're breathing all day long. Water we're definitely consuming more of than food, and then clean food. But those are your top three, and we need to get them right. Okay. Wednesday's show was Ozempic babies, in quotations, surprising doctors and soon-to-be moms. This is a wild show. I mean, this is just a topic that I never thought I'd be talking about. Written up, reported, doctors reporting women on birth control getting pregnant when using specific weight loss drugs. I go into that on Wednesday's show. Yesterday's show was 5 ways to stimulate your body's relaxation response. Yes, we're talking about calming that vagus nerve, shutting off fight or flight. I give you 5 ways to do that. Definitely check that out. All these shows are available at stephencabral.com/podcasts. All right, let's dive into today's show here today. So what I want to do is I want to bring you something that is debuting just this week called the Vita-Min Tox Test. Everyone here will get access to this. You'll be able to go to stephencabral.com/3024. That is where all of today's show notes will live. stephencabral.com/3024, and you'll be the first ones to see this link. Really proud of the Equal Life team for putting this together. It tests over 100 different biomarkers. It is the first combination lab test, previously called the starter kit. Nothing wrong with calling it the starter kit, but this is something that most people are using now every 6 months to check and adjust their vitamin and mineral levels based on diet, based on exercise and output, based on supplementation, etc. But it also looks at your heavy metals and your gut-based dysfunction, if any. And so I'm going to open this up. If you're watching this on video, fantastic. We appreciate the growing YouTube audience. So if you haven't already hit subscribe, follow along, brand new video every day. And the inside just gives you a little summary. We're going to look at all your vitamin levels, all your mineral levels. We're going to look at your heavy metals. We're going to look at your gut function, 100 total markers. Pretty amazing. It goes in depth on your mitochondria and so much more. All right, but here it is. It's really simple. If you're not watching this on video, I'll explain it. It's made up of the minerals and metals test, which is a simple couple snips of hair from the back of your head, used by, again, I always have to say this, NASA, the FBI, testing for on pregnancy for heavy metals. This has been around for decades now. And then also the Candida Metabolic and Vitamins test, which looks at your gut-based dysfunction, but even goes even deeper, as I said, about your mitochondria, your energy, and all your vitamin levels. Couple snips of hair combined with a small urine sample. If you're in the US, all of the postage is paid for you. You just put them in their envelopes, ship them back to the lab with your registration card. You are good to go for you and or your family. So simple, straightforward. I'm excited to be able to get this to you. And if you're listening to this when the show goes live, is a tremendous difference, and I should say a tremendous difference in price as well, just for our audience. So that is debuting this week. Huge discount, well over $100 off. You can find this at stephencabral.com/3024. It's called the Vita-Min, so Vita-Min, testing your vitamin and mineral levels, Tox Test. Toxicities would be heavy metals, gut-based dysfunction. So I've been using this now for over a decade with my private wellness clients. This is something that we're proud to be able to bring you and get this to you very easily, even overseas, Australia, New Zealand, UK, our neighbors to the north in Canada, all over the US. All right, so that's the Vita-Min Tox Test. Next up, I wanted to share with you, which gummies are not something that Equal Life does a lot of, but I want to teach you how to read a label for gummies, because I know people, they love their gummies. They really do. So let's look at a supplement facts panel. So again, if you're watching this on video, I'm going to hold that right up for you. These are actually the delicious watermelon gummies here. But what I want to do is, because whether it's Equal Life or any other brand, I always say, stay skeptical, right? Stay skeptical. That's not a bad thing for you and your family. Let's look at the ingredients. I want to teach you exactly how to read them. So supplement facts will be different than when it says nutritional facts. Nutritional facts are for basically food, like a bar, or you might have what's bagged, nuts, seeds, those types of things will be nutrition facts, right? So what we're looking at is still calories, and we're looking at anything that's added to it. That's on the supplement facts panel. That is the actual dosage of the supplement. Okay, that's the supplement facts. It's called the SFP. Then below that, though, you're going to find something called other ingredients. I want to share with you. So why don't I do this? I'm going to share with you exactly what you don't want to see on that label. What you do want to see on the label is pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Are these food-based substances? And if it's a color, does it come from natural food? So for example, the coloring here is a black carrot extract. That's it. So you were getting the color from black carrots, right? So dark carrot extract. That's it. You know, get those really dark purpley carrots. That's it. So we're getting that extract there, and everything else is all natural. So now here, what I want to share with you is, what do we look for that we don't want to see? And as I said, I'm going to be doing a much larger podcast on this, but first and foremost, you want to look for just the word artificial. So we don't want to see artificial flavors. Now, artificial flavors will literally just be listed as artificial flavors. It might say artificial banana flavor, it might say artificial watermelon flavor, but it doesn't say natural. It says artificial. All right, so that's our first tip. Now, our second one is this. It won't say artificial colors usually. It used to say all of the different red, green, blue, yellow, etc. But they're now changing them. However, if the company that you're working with still hasn't changed them, well, then it will say a color. You do not want colors to be consumed by your body. You're literally consuming a variation of paint. Like I said, I will be going over a show next week on this in depth. They come from coal and or petroleum, so coal tar, and then they switch from that over to petroleum, essentially oil, crude oil. And that's how they're making these colors. They're toxic. I mean, they really are. This isn't like a hearsay. These things are toxic to the human body. The FDA, which originally said they were okay, has come back and say, no, they're not safe. Like they're not safe. We really shouldn't be consuming them. Okay, so there's that. But I want to give you two names that you're going to see keep coming up. The first one is Allura for a red dye, and the next one is tartrazine, which I believe is for the yellow, but I'll get you all of those next week as well. So we don't want these weird names popping up for sure for other names for our dyes. The next thing that you want to look at is many people, now this isn't the world, but many people in our practice do not do well with sugar alcohols. All right. It makes them feel sick to their stomach, bloated, and gassy, especially if they have candida overgrowth or they have bacterial overgrowth like SIBO. So easy way to look for that is anything that ends in "all" for the most part. So think of like xylitol or sorbitol. Sorbitol, all of those things end in "all." They can be sugar alcohols and they can lead to stomach-based issues. All right. The next one is fake sugars. So I have a whole podcast on that. I can link that up for you today as well at 3024. But you don't want to see sucralose, which is not sucrose, right? It's not sugar. It's a Splenda-based variation of it, right? So that is an artificial-based sweetener. So we don't want to see any of the artificial sweeteners, artificial dyes, or artificial colors. Basically, we don't want those three artificial things. They come up with different names for them, but that's not what we want. If there has to be a little bit of sweetener, which sometimes they do, like for a bitter-based supplement, they may use stevia, they might use monk fruit, they may use regular sugar, maple syrup, honey. All of these things can be much better variations. The last one, which you can go back and forth. There are natural variations of waxes, but for the most part, we don't want to be consuming a lot of foods that are waxed covered. And so these are things for my clients I really don't want to see. So when I see a lot of waxes in there, it's not ideal. If it's something that you're using every once in a while and as a natural, like more beeswax based one, okay, maybe it's not as much of a big deal, but anybody with sensitive digestion, not typically something that I'm recommending. Now, again, if you have sensitive digestion, I'm typically not recommending gummies in the first place. I'm recommending capsules or liquids. All right. So I wanted to bring that to you here today and just kind of transitioning now into our research, staying with the herbal and the nutritional supplement based realm. There's new research. This came out about 6 weeks ago. This was published in, let's see here, University of Colorado School of Medicine, Aurora, and University of Michigan, Ann Arbor published in ICI Insight. And they specifically looked at autoimmune issues, and this one including rheumatoid arthritis and lupus. Okay, so here's what they found. Ginger supplements reduce autoimmune disease symptoms. Recent finding. People who took 20 milligram supplement of ginger daily for 20 days increased levels of the chemical CAMP in white blood cells called the neutrophil. This improves these cells' resistance to an inflammation-promoting condition called NETosis, N-E-T-osis, that is believed, NETosis, by the way, that is believed to drive symptoms of autoimmune disease, including rheumatoid and lupus. Ginger has been used a long, long time now as an anti-inflammatory in traditional therapies. So this is something that we've used in our practice for many, many years now for gut-based dysfunction, autoimmune, and much more. It is in a product that we use called Inflamma-Soothe. Great product. Not only does it include ginger, it also includes turmeric, and other, we know, natural anti-inflammatory based compounds. I can't link that up today. Whenever you mention a disease-based state, you can't link up nutritional supplements. It's just how the FDA works. The FDA will allow food colors. They'll literally allow paint in our food, but we can't talk about nutritional supplements, even if it's backed by science. Yeah, that's interesting. But so you can just go to stevencabral.com/shop. That'll take you over to Ecolife. You'll find Inflamma-Soothe there. Of course, you don't just have to use Ecolife-based products. That's who I formulate for. And, so you're welcome to get them there, but you're also welcome to work with your integrative health practitioner or natural health doctor to be able to find other great third-party testing companies as well. All right, the last one I wanted to go over I told you I would say, let's go over the deli meat options. I get this a lot. Is deli meat healthy for you? For the most part, the answer is no. And it's simply because of the preserved nature of the meat. However, there are more natural ways to do this. If I were looking at a deli meat and giving you the healthiest recommendation I could make, I would say look for oven roasted turkey. Okay, oven roasted turkey. And then on the other ingredients, just like we taught you today, and you probably already know, but we added to your knowledge base today how to look at the other ingredients. Because yes, in an ideal world, it was just oven roasted turkey. Here's the problem. That's not going to stay good for more than a day, 2 days, 3 days. It has to have something with it. So when you look at the other ingredients, it should basically just say water and some type of salt. That's basically it. Nothing else added to it. No modified potato starch, which we don't really want in our food at all. So we want to look at what are they using to cure this meat or preserve this meat. Basically, you just want salt. That's it. Salt and water is all that you're looking for. All right. So I already told you, turkey is really the number one deli meat that you can go with. If we're just talking about meat, all right, if we're talking about pork or red meat or chicken or turkey, for the most part, turkey is going to be the cleanest one that you can get. You want to look for organic. You want to look for a free range. You want to look for something that does not have antibiotics or other things added to it. So let me show you the worst ones they found. So this recommendation, who is this by? I don't know who this individual is. It says Daniel Smith. All right, so Daniel Smith, this is what jogged my eye here. And it says turkey, chicken, and roast beef are your best choices. And they said you want the fewest ingredients possible. Totally agree. Chicken, you have to be really careful. Chicken is, and same with beef, it's not a clean food product. It's not, unless it says grass-fed, grass-finished for the beef, which most of them are not. And chicken has to be pastured, right? So you want pastured chicken, pastured turkey. If it's not pastured, it's not a healthy food. It's just not. And so I'm not trying to be, oh, well, you can't eat all these things. I'm just trying to give you the highest level, like best choices you can make, and then you go from there. All right, what were the worst choices? Salami, bologna, pepperoni, and pastrami. Typically, they say are more processed. So if If you love those, you're going to do them less often. And if you have to stick with the deli meat because you need an easy to go option, well, turkey, like I said, is probably your easiest and best bet. Hopefully today's show is helpful. All the links will be at stephencabral.com/3024. Have an amazing start to your weekend. I'll be back tomorrow answering our Cabral house calls. Take care. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.